storm. Hear the difference in the wind.
The wet seasons on the east coast these days can dump a lot of water in a short space of time. That means lots of fresh pushing out through our estuaries, inshore waters and into our basin. There can be some really good fishing because there's a lot of food present. This afternoon I'm having a little solo session, going to explore my inshore waters. Lots of dirt water around, see if we can play with a few hungry reef species. The term here a lot is about mixed water. From your estuaries to your bays to offshore, mixed water, when there's been a bit of a flow on a soften where you find active fish, you find your barra anglers through to your brim anglers talking about it when there's a flow on. I'm doing exactly the same thing offshore at the moment. So in Australia there's an influence known as North Shore drift, and what it means is that your water along your beaches is basically slowly pushing its way towards the north, and you'll find that that fresh that comes running out of your river systems does exactly the same thing. It pushes its way north. So therefore the shape of your beaches and your bays can often produce in the offshore waters a bit of a shadow effect where you can find pockets of salt water with edges of that mixed fresh, and those are very much the zones where you want to be looking, where you can combine that mixed zone with structure that's holding bait. And if you look on your sounder and find discrete arches and active fish, bigger fish, that's exactly where you want to start fishing. Trying to keep the approach simple in terms of fishing some dirt water for demersal species. Majority of work's probably going to get done by, if it's virtually a float line spin stick type approach. So I've got a Venom 20 to 50 pound spin rod, ATC, I've got 40 pound braid. I'm going to be fishing 40 to 60 pound leader depending on what the bite's like. So on that one we used to have a ball sinker straight on top of a hook, a 3/0 or 4/0, something to match the size of the bait. And we'll float it down as gently as we can, and it gets to what we call a fallout approach. So it's also the reason I selected the bait that I've got. So I've got prawns, I've got strip bait, I've also got some live bait. So those options are hopefully going to get the interest of something that's down there looking for what we call that fallout type food. So a lot of food in the way of bait fish and prawns has been flushed out of places that normally would be to somewhere where it probably doesn't want to be. So it may be alive, it may be beaten up and dead, but that's the presentation we're trying to emulate here. So that's why we've got the prawns on board. There's a reason you see the prawners out after a good flush of dirt water. It pushes a lot of prawns out of the systems into these offshore waters, and so it makes sense that a lot of your reef species and even your pelagics are going to be looking around for crustaceans and stuff that have been displaced. So a prawn, strip bait or a live bait's hopefully going to get the interest of something down there, and hopefully we can get up here to show you fairly shortly. Let's get to work. Let's start with the prawn bait and just try and work now through our sinker size. By that I mean, I don't know what the current's doing yet. I want to get down there probably as gently as possible, just to try and make it look like that fallout bait. It's not getting basically plummeting to the bottom. It's going to have a bit of a natural drift about it. I've got a little bit of current pushing towards the back of the boat at the moment. Not too much wind, so that helps. So I'm going to cast slightly above the boat and just wait to see pretty much how strong that current is and to see if I'm getting down there. The beauty of using a sounder for an approach like this is I'm pretty much using it to see if I can see that sinker and bait coming through it, and it gives me an idea as to how close I am to the bottom. If I don't see it at all, it means I need to cast further up current and just keep working it that way. So it's a bit of pretty much feeling out the current situation and what's happening down there and the way your bait and your line are drifting. Sometimes with fresh water you can find that you've got two currents. You've got the fresh running one way on the top and you've got another current pushing another way underneath. So that's where trying to, I guess, reconcile using a sound as to where the bait's going gives you an idea as to how those currents are working. It's all about just getting it down there gently. If you can start finding a way to do that, you're well on the way to catching a fish or two. Rains have come, there's been a few big squid coming up, attacking smaller fish. It's a little bit lively. I just haven't quite found a mark with bigger fishes yet, so it's a case of just jumping around, a bit of spot hopping, just trying to find a set of bigger fish. Fish are definitely active and they're feeding. When you're seeing squid up the top chasing stuff, you know things are active. They're all out looking for a feed. It's just trying to find that right spot. Oh wow, here we go. This is very cool. A blue Maori cod. Very cool looking fish. Stunning. How good. Cattle dog cod up north, blue Maori here. Just a gorgeous fish that live down there. Wow, they pull hard. Almost a little bit trout like the way I try to get back to bottom. That's where the lock drag and the puffing comes from. Is that, as we've learned the hard way, if you give them a little bit too much, they sometimes decide to stay home. Just fishing little strip baits at the moment. So pretty much that's about as big as I want to fish at the moment. I want it to be very much bite size. With that sort of size sinker that I'm using at the moment, I'm still going to get a fluttering, drifty type presentation, which is what undoes a lot of your more cautious fish and often your more tasty fish. And all I'm doing is I'm putting that 3/0 through top of the bait, and then just beneath. And the reason I can go through the bait here now is I've got plenty of hook gape, so that's important, but I've also got a lot of bait beneath the hook, so I've got that very fluttery presentation, and so that going down almost looks like a fish swimming down the bottom. When it's down there, the sinker holds it in position close to the reef to get that fluttering presentation that just looks like a piece of food that's come out from the upper parts of the water column, particularly with the fresh flow going on, and then it gets to bottom and it looks out of place, it smells good, and then it's a case of just really letting a fish come up, investigate that bait, get it in the mouth, and then as it starts to swim away, you'll feel, get those initial bumps, and then that rod tip starts to go, and that's when you strike. Hopefully a bait like that converts into something fun and tasty. Come on, and get you up. That's a nice lipper. Oh, and they make you work hard. They just pound for pound. I reckon one of the strongest reef fish that we got in these parts. I reckon they'd pull a trout backwards. Oh, man, they make you work.
Just you wake to listen for the storm.
This is one of the fish we wanted to come out here for. Come on, stay on, stay on. Come on, come on. What are you? What are you? Yes, that's what I was hoping you were. You beauty. Aren't they stunning? Wow. Shows you what sometimes a little strip bait designed to chase sweet lip and snapper and stuff off the bottom can G up. Little hook, solid little hook though, to basically match the strip bait and prawns we're putting down. And it just goes to show when you get those big flushes of food, whether they're current driven or they come with the fresh, it's a little exploring and not too worried about the dirt water. Go find where those mixing zones are, let your sounder tell you where to fish, and then just present naturally. It's amazing what you can pull up when you present naturally, and you sometimes have a little bit of luck getting something past the reef. Didn't that one make me work? You little beauty, dinner is sorted.